We are a peaceful people. Struggle is we struggle, and we don't look for trouble. Just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow and never break. Our fathers came here and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere. Make no mistake, 'cause we ain't giving up no mountain, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass. We love the open country of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, the time of night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right. So we ain't giving up no mountain, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass. So we ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass.
Afternoon to everyone. Dr. Jermaine Hatton, Mr. Safras Yakub, our judges for today. Good day to you. Good day, online viewers. Good day to our debaters. We were to have this debate this morning at 11. Unfortunately, due to technical difficulties on the part of the teams, we were unable to have them start on time. However, we are going to be having that debate right now. Today is the 16th day in the Speakers Regional Youth Debating Competition, and we will commence the debates for Region 10 with the Christianburg Wismar Secondary School Student Governing Body, and that group will compete against the New Silver City Secondary School Health Club. Today, as an unusual practice, we do not have 3 judges, but 2 judges. Unfortunately, our chief judge had another engagement, but we have 2 very competent, well-able judges. And the first who will function as chief judge to deliver your scores at the end is Dr. Jermaine Hatton. He is a medical doctor and a University of Guyana lecturer in the School of Medicine in the areas of chemical pathology and academic writing. In 2019, Dr. Hatton was a member of the Guyana Youth Parliament, and of course, he was exceptional during that year. And he continues to serve as a mentor of Youth Parliament up to today. In 2022, the University of Guyana awarded him the Council of the University of Guyana Prize for the student that has made the greatest contribution to the university in other areas of university life. so he's not all academics. Dr. Hatton has been a CXC marker for a number of years for the English language, literature, and communication studies examinations. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Medical Technology and a Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery degree from the University of Guyana. Welcome again, Dr. Hatton, lover of chicken curry. Our next judge is Mr. Safraz Yakub, a lecturer attached to the University of Guyana and a medical student also pursuing a master's degree in international public health from the Liverpool University. Mr. Yakub holds a degree in natural sciences, in chemistry that is, and a diploma in public and international relations from the University of London. He was awarded the best graduating student from the University of Guyana in the stream of environmental sciences. At Youth Parliament 2019, he was a judge best speaker and in 2020 was pronounced Youth of the Day by the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport. He is an avid cricketer and table tennis enthusiast. And in 2022, Mr. Yakub was awarded the Connectors Award and the High Distinction Award at the World Youth Leaders Program in Dubai. To date, he continues to contribute to Youth Parliament as a mentor. Welcome, Judge Yakub. We're always happy to have our former youth parliamentarians serve in various capacities here at the Parliament of Guyana. And let me introduce you to our teams for today. Proposing will be the New Silver City Secondary School Health Club. And that group was reestablished in 2013 under the supervision of the Ministry of Health. Its main objective is to raise awareness of food security, food safety, and address issues relating to the individual and environmental health in the school's community. And who will their speakers be? Their first speaker, Ms. Cherise White, 14 years old from Wismar Linden. Their second speaker, Ms. Sierra Ward, 14 years old, also from Wismar Linden. And their third speaker, Ms. Brianna Bourne, 15 years old from West Watuka Hilltop, Linden. And the opposing team today is the Christianburg Wismar Secondary School Student Governing Body. That group was established in January 2023 to represent students of the school at the administrative level. They plan and execute social activities for the students. In addition, the group coordinates with the administration of the school to prepare programs which are aimed at improving educational standards and maximizing students' potential. Let me introduce you to their speakers. Their first speaker, Mr. Colin Bascom, is 18 years old from Wismar Linden. Their second speaker, Ms. Unique Paris, is 16 years old from Christianburg, Linden. And their third speaker is Ms. Hadassah McBean, 16 years old, also from Linden, Mackenzie Linden. And the moot for the debate today is poverty is a mindset. Poverty is a mindset. I now declare this debate open. Let us all welcome the first speaker of the proposition, Ms. Cherise White from the New Silver City Secondary Schools Health Club. Ms. White? Ms. White, New Silver City Secondary School.
Good morning, Miss.
You need to turn on your camera, and as soon as you hear the bell, you may begin.
Knowledgeable judges, learned but misguided members of this opposition, fellow colleagues and alert audience. Good morning to all. We are gathered here today to debate on a very controversial quote that states, poverty is a mindset. Um, Please allow me to define some key terms. Poverty, state or condition in which one lacks financial resource for a certain standard of living. Mindset, the established set of attitudes held by someone. Therefore, our redefined root reads, a state or condition of someone, a state of condition in which one lacks resources for a certain standard of living is a result to the set of attitude one portrays. I, Therese White, the first speaker of this will examine what is poverty and situational poverty. The second speaker, Ms. Ciara Ward, will further solidify our team's argument by highlighting factors that contribute to poverty. Ms. Brianna Bourne will solidify our team's argument by talking on factors that can change an individual mindset. Before I continue, I must let's pay keen attention to what before I continue, let's pay attention to the definitions. We're stating that poverty is a state of being extremely poor or being inferior, inequality, or having insufficient amount. And mindset is a habitual or characteristic mental attitude that determines how you will interpret and respond to situations. So the way we think determines how we act, what we do, and our attitudes. Continuing, poverty is not having enough money to meet basic needs, which includes food, clothing, and shelter. And within poverty, we have six different types. Let's use one of them as our example that we're portraying. Situational poverty. A person or family income and support is decreased due to a specific change. Example, job loss, a divorce, death, health problems, environmental disasters, etc. The fact that persons stay poor after this in situational poverty is actually surprising because we've been taught our whole life that once you put your mind to something, you will get it done. So I'm saying instead of being depressed or complaining that you lost your job and it's hard to find a new one, instead you should be saying, I lost my job and it's sad because they lost a very good worker. Yes, I agree. It's easier to say than to do. But when we're doing this, we're actually preparing our body. We're actually preparing our body to work, not only to work, but to work hard and reach to the top. But think of it, when you're thinking of something all the time, you have that urge to do something about it. So now when we're thinking about work, we're thinking about money, we will have that urge to invest to get money the fastest and legal way. Let's look at it from both rich persons and people point of view. A rich person will take an opportunity, use wise choices to invest, while a poor person would worry more about the thing they loses if they put themselves into that invest. What will happen if it doesn't work out? A rich person will save their money and use it wisely, while a poor person will use their money to look good and buy useless things or things that are not important. Example, in the parent cash grant, when we had parent cash grant, the hole in front was full. People would carry their children out to buy churches, but is that actually important? Why not save that money and buy what we need, buy and invest it into something else? That's what poor people is about. They would try to look good the best way they could, try to look rich, but instead they try to use their money for useless. Brain science also shows, sorry, poor people people in poverty have a way of thinking that they cannot invest or take any risk because they will lose it all. They believe that money shouldn't be spent. Opportunities are limited and is temporary. I mean, success is temporary. So they would like to stay back of the pack instead of showing out and using their money wisely. And so brain science also show what happens to poverty people, what happens, they overthink and everything stress them out. When we stress the body out, the body and mind, the thinking, when we stress our body and mind out, we overwhelm our critical thinking skills that people need to chart a pathway out of the conditions. Brain science also shows that the stress hijack our good intentions and increases the likelihood that we will be swept away by impulses. But to think of it, if you can only be stressed out if you let something to stress you out. Example, in an exam, when we are stressing, math in particular, when we're stressing on one question, we have 1 minute more. You can only stress. You would only be stressing if you don't actually, pay attention, read this question, and actually get it to the right of your abilities. To your abilities. So I'm stating here. So people of this opposition, you cannot blame the world for something a person just need to open their eyes up and take the risk if it means to having a good and better life. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharice. I will now invite the first speaker of the opposing team.
Yes, your mic is muted.
Sharice, you guys can unmute and take off your camera now. I invite the first speaker of the opposing team, Mr. Colin Bascom from Christianburg Wisma Secondary School Student Governing Body. Go ahead, Colin.
Thank you, esteemed moderator, members of the proposition, viewers, listeners, members of my team, audience, ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today. It is essential to recognize that poverty is not just a mindset. It is a complex issue rooted in a systematic inequalities and societal structures. To claim that poverty is solely a result of one's mindset it oversimplifies the problem and ignores the larger factors at play. Poverty is often a consequence of limited access to education, healthcare, and opportunities for economic growth. It is not a choice or a state of mind, but rather a condition imposed upon individuals due to circumstances beyond their control. This is particularly evident in marginalized communities where generational poverty perpetuates the structure. While it is true that one's mindset can play a role in overcoming poverty, it is unfair to place the burden solely on individuals. Expecting people to overcome poverty, but merely changing their mindset is unrealistic and dismissive of the challenges they face. Our focus should be on addressing the root causes of poverty, such as income inequality, lack of social support systems, and unequal distribution of resources. By tackling these systematic issues, we can create an environment where individuals have a fair chance to try, regardless of their mindset. And this here is my argument based on opposing poverty is not just a mindset. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. I invite the second speaker of the proposing team, Ms. Ciara Ward. Ciara, from the New Silver City Secondary School.
Miss, ready?
The time, sir.
Time start?
We will ring the bell again and then you will begin.
Honorable judges, learned but fallacious members of the opposition and alert audience, good day to you all. I, Sierra Ward, second speaker of the proposition, stand confidently to solidify and reinforce my team's arguments by highlighting factors that contribute to poverty. Poverty is often misunderstood as a purely financial issue. While it is true that financial hardship is a significant aspect of poverty, it is not the only factor. Poverty is a complex issue that involves personal attitudes, social structures, and systemic arrangement. It is a social ill that affects millions of people worldwide, and for many, it is a state of mind. It is common to hear stories of people who grew up in poverty, but who were determined to determine themselves out of it and become financially successful. These stories often conclude in individuals who had nothing but who persisted fervently until they achieved their dreams. Clearly, these people had a different mindset than individuals who remain in poverty despite having the skills and talents and abilities to succeed. Perhaps the most significant aspect of poverty as a mindset is hopelessness. Many people who are in poverty feel as though they will never be able to escape its grip. The deep-seated belief can lead to a lack of motivation and effort, and may also contribute to feelings of despair and depression. The poverty mindset can limit a person's ability to see possibilities and opportunities. People who are mired in poverty may believe that they will never be able to achieve anything, regardless of how hard they try. This limited belief can be difficult to overcome, but it is essential to breaking the cycle of poverty. Another aspect of poverty as a mindset is the belief that they were victims of circumstances or external forces beyond their control. This mindset can lead to a sense of powerlessness, rendering someone unable to take control of their life. Developing a solution-based mentality can evaluate this situation and help individuals to focus on the things they can control rather than those they cannot. To conclude, changing one's mindset can be a critical step in escaping poverty. Though poverty is a complex issue that involves many factors, it is essential to acknowledge the significance of mindset when it comes to poverty. By recognizing and addressing these limiting beliefs, we can empower individuals to break free from the cycle of poverty. As such, tackling poverty begins with a shift in individuals' mindset. Thank you.
Thank you, Ciara. Ms. Unique Paris, the second speaker of the opposing team from Christianburg Wisma Secondary School Student Governing Body, it's your turn. Unique?
Thank you, moderator. Good afternoon, esteemed judges, patient and keeper, and attentive audience. My name is Nick Paris, and I'll be opposing to the moot. Poverty is a mindset. Poverty is not a mindset. Well, it's true that poverty can play a role in overcoming. Well, it's true that mindset can play a role in overcoming poverty. It's only one factor among many. Poverty is a complex issue that is influenced by a wide range of factors, including income inequalities, lack of access to quality education and healthcare, and system discrimination. People who live in poverty often face a significant barrier to education and employment, which can make it difficult to break out of cycle of poverty. For example, they may lack access to quality schools or have worked long hours to make ends meet, leaving the time or energy for satisfying or job training. In addition, the external factors, people who live in poverty also face a host of interior challenges that can make it difficult to change their circumstances. For example, they may struggle with low self-esteem, depression, or any other mental issues that can make it hard to stay motivated or focus on one's goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Unique. It's time for us to hear from the third speaker of the proposing team, Ms. Brianna Bourne of New Silver City Secondary School Health Club.
Good day to you all. I'm Brianna Bourne, the third speaker, will be concluding factors that can change an individual mindset of being impoverished. Personal mindset affects people's behavior and actions. Many experts argue that people's mindset affect their behavior. Therefore, people in poverty may view their situation as hopeless, and their negative mindset could impact their actions and hinder their ability to escape their poverty. The power of positive thinking. Some researchers argue that positive thinking can help people overcome obstacles and achieve their goals. So it's possible that if people in poverty adopt a positive mindset, they may be able to overcome the challenges that come with being poor. Emotional intelligence can shape mindset. Some experts argue that emotional intelligence plays a significant role in the shaping of people's mindset. Emotional intelligence can help individuals develop a positive mindset, which can propel them to move forward to a better future. In conclusion, a mindset drives how you think about money and what you do with it. An abundance with mindset is not about spending more or mismanaging resources. It is about approaching money from an informed position. Thank you.
Thank you, Brianna. And now for the third speaker of the opposing team, Ms. Hadassah McBean of Christianburg Wismer Secondary School Student Governing Body.
Thank you, esteemed moderators. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Hadassah McBean, opposing the final speech as to why poverty is not a mindset. Many would say poverty is a punishment for a crime you did not commit, which makes claiming that poverty is just a mindset oversimplifies the complex reality faced by millions around the world. A mindset is a noun. It can't be defined as a set of attitudes by someone. which is simply a frame of mind and not a movement out of a situation you did not choose to be in. Blaming poverty on someone, especially in this society that we make our dwelling, where poverty is explained as making the poor poor or the rich more rich. Feed for the poor, but because we cannot satisfy the rich, it is crucial to acknowledge that poverty is deeply intertwined with social, economic, and political factors because we call ourselves one, but apparently that does not include poor. Look around people. You burn down the house of the ones that cannot afford a land without consideration of where they would live, but we claim we love one another. The homeless on the streets day by day, night by night, and it's not like the country is poor. We can build. It's not like the country is poor. We can build homes and offer jobs, but no, the rich gets richer and the poor treats unwanted. Claiming to tell me that poverty is a mindset is not pushing because we know that there is no poor out in the world that choose to be where they are. Everyone have dreams and not the dreams are always big, but the fight is always lonely in this society. The focus solely on mindset implies that poverty is a personal failure, which is far from the truth. Disregards the structural barriers that poverty prevent individuals from accessing basic necessities and opportunities for growth. It also ignores the general nature of poverty, that where limited resources and opportunities are passed. Instead of that, attributing poverty solely to mindset, we must address systemic issues such as unequal discrimination of wealth, inadequate social safety nets, and discrimination policies. Thank you.
Thank you, Hadassah. And that concludes our initial arguments on the moot for today. Poverty is a mindset. We will now allow both teams to have 5 minutes to prepare their rebuttals as our judges conduct their initial tallying. And the Public Relations Officer, Mr. Yannick December, will remind you of the rules of the Speaker's Regional Youth Debating Competition. Over to you, Yannick.
The rules of this competition are as follows. Each team must consist of only 3 members, all from the same youth group. Failure to comply will result in the disqualification of the team. Once a team has started the competition, no member shall be replaced. The first speaker shall be the first speaker of the proposition, followed by the first speaker of the opposition, and shall alternate in this order. The time allotted to each speaker are as follows. First speaker, 5 minutes. Second speaker, 4 minutes. Third speaker, 4 minutes. And the rebuttal, 5 minutes. The rebuttal will be done by the first speaker on each team, in order of opposing, then proposing. No new arguments or material shall be introduced into the rebuttal. 10 points will be deducted for introduction of new arguments. A bell will be rung first to indicate that the speaker should commence. The second bell will indicate that 1 minute is remaining, and there will be a final bell when the time has elapsed. 5 points will be deducted from each speaker who does not adhere to the allotted time. In the event of technical difficulties, a speaker may be allotted additional time. This is at the discretion of the judges. Speakers may refer to notes, but should not read them. 5 points will be deducted from any speaker who reads a prepared speech.
Points will be rewarded for reasoning and logic, originality, relevance, mechanics, articulation, attitude towards opponent, development of argument, and cohesiveness. And finally, the judges' decisions are final.
I wish all our participants the best of luck.
Thank you, Yannick. Those were the rules of our competition. The winner of this debate today will enter the Speaker's National Youth Debating Competition, which should commence in a few weeks. We are hoping to commence on the 27th of June, but it may or may not go over to July. And the runner-up will move on to round 2 to compete against the Linden Superstars Youth Group, a repeat group in the debating competitions. And both teams then will battle to secure their spot in the Speaker's National Youth Debating Competition. Let me remind you of some of the groups which will compete in the Speaker's National Youth Debating Competition. And those teams emerged from the regionals, of course. In Region 1, Port Kaituma Youth Group. In Region 2, Good Hope Police Youth Group and Guyana Kindness Movement Youth Group. In Region 3, we have Sturtville New Horizon Pathfinder and Master Guide Club, and the Leg One Progressive Youth Organization. In Region 4, the University of Guyana Student Society Turkine Campus and the Enterprise Young Professionals Youth Group will compete. In Region 5, we will see the Peer Builders Youth Group as well as Blairmont Humanitarian Organization. In Region 6, the University of Guyana Student Society Tain Campus and the Golden Ohm Dharmic Youth Organization will compete. In Region 7, we will see the Bartica Youth Group. In Region 8, the Madhya Secondary School Youth Group. Those are the groups advancing to the Speaker's National Youth Debating Competition. Tentatively will commence on the 27th of June. In Region 9, the groups to participate are Charlton Secondary School Youth Group, Anai Secondary School Youth Group, and the St. Ignatius Secondary School Youth Group. In Region 10, which we're having today, Christianburg and the New Silver City Secondary Schools. And the winner will move on to the nationals. The runner-up will compete against the Linden Superstars Youth Group. In District 11, we have the Young Influencers Youth Group and the Girl Build Girl Foundation, who will compete against each other on Friday to see who will enter into the nationals of the competition. And the time has indicated that 5 minutes have elapsed. And so now we will move to the rebuttals, and I will first call on the opposing side, Mr. Colin Bascom of Christianburg Wismer Secondary School Student Governing Body for his team's rebuttal. Colin?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, Colin, go ahead.
Okay. Esteemed judges, audience, I'm here to end this prolonged debate. The wonderful proposition stated, poverty is the state of being inferior. This in itself may be true, right? They also stated opportunities are limited. Also, it isn't a choice or a state of mind. This adds to my point of my argument. They are often the results of stress, trauma that comes with living in poverty. Research has shown that poverty can have a profound impact on the brain, leading to changes in the way people process information and make decisions. So, given the complexity of poverty, it's clear that we need a multifaceted approach in addressing this issue. The position not only helped me, but also closed the debate on themselves that poverty is not just a mindset. This includes policies that address income inequality, provides access to quality education and healthcare, and combats systematic discrimination. It also includes programs that provide support for people who are struggling with mental health issues and other internal challenges. The mindset has nothing to do with their state of living. Whilst mindset can play an important role in overcoming poverty, it's important that we do not burden solely on individuals to change their mindset. Again, doing so ignores the many external and internal factors that contribute to poverty and perpetuates the harmful myth that people who live in poverty are somehow responsible for their own circumstances. Research has shown that poverty may be generational. Today, I rest my argument that poverty is not just a mindset. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. And let us hear the rebuttal now for the proposing team from Ms. Sharice White of New Silver City Secondary School's Health Club. Sharice?
Good day once again. Knowledgeable judges and members of the opposition. The opposition said that your mindset has nothing to do with poverty, but as a man thinketh, so he do. The people we interact with on a daily basis helps you to shape your thinking. That is why friends of the opposition, both you and I need to interact with positive people who has positive mindset. As we can see too, the richest man of the world was once poor, and is his mindset that got him to the state he is. He was once poor, and he invests into his life. He pushed himself, changed his mindset, and kept himself around positive people. So, as the writer Ben Carson wrote a book, Think Big. So, I leave with you today. Think big, since our architect of your fortunate. So I leave with you today. Think big, since our architect of your fortunate. Thank you. Fortunate.
Thank you, Sharice. And that is it, folks. There we have it. The final presentation on today's moot. Poverty is a mindset. Thank you to both schools, the Christian Bar Wisma Secondary School student governing body, as well as the New Silver City Secondary School Health Club. Thank you for participating. We know it's not always an easy task to debate in front of a live audience and well-learned judges, and we commend your efforts today. While the judges are tallying, allow me to go to our online viewers. Of course, as long as I'm in this seat, I need to recognize our online audience. Vlissas Edwards, thank you for tuning in as usual. Of course, you are our constant supporter here in the debating competitions. I see Dean William B. online with us. Carissa McClure, one of the debaters, she's tuned in and paying attention. Anika Felician, hello to you. Good afternoon. Malika Russell, a former outstanding debater and youth parliamentarian, one who assists us at the Parliament office from time to time. Thank you for tuning in as well. Delon Fraser, one of our chief judges and my dear friend. Thank you for watching today. Thank you to all our supporters, and that is all for today. I'm looking at the judges to see if they are ready with their scores and their comments, and Dr. Hatton indicated that they are ready. Judge Yakub, are you ready? All right, and so let me invite the first judge, Judge Yakub, to give us some brief remarks before moving to Dr. Hatton for his remarks and the announcement of the winning team and the best debater today. Judge Yakub?
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to both teams, the participants, and all of our viewers. You know, there's a quote that I'm sure we're all familiar with: fail to prepare and prepare to fail. When you are entering into a competition like this, you need to enter with the mindset of winning, not just showing up and just merely competing. You're here to make a statement and you want to prepare for this. You had issues with connectivity and all of these things. They should be done beforehand so that you have a smooth flow when it's time to present and it don't add to the nervous tics. But as you go forward, I hope to see that you learn from all of these things and improve yourselves so that you can tick off all of these things beforehand. So when you come today, you have a nice transition, a nice flow, and then you can present your point. Also, we've had terrible mechanics from generally both sides. When you are debating or public speaking, there is something that you call the power sphere. The power sphere is the zone right where your navel is, up to your eyes. If you go above here, you look crazy, unless you want to make a point. If you go below your navel, then you're not making a power statement. So you want to remain within this zone when you're gesturing. Most of the participants from one team had their hands to their sides and they were just reading. You can't do this when you're aiming to make a statement because it takes away. And your hands help you to tell a story. For example, if I'm to say, there's a door and I kept knocking and knocking and then I had no response. So I kept pushing and pushing on this door, trying to turn it. And then I realized that it was not a push door, it was a pull door. So just by utilizing your hands, you can do this. But if I'm to tell the same story and I keep my hands to my side, it comes off as I'm just talking. There's no presence. So you work on this. Also, there was not much research done on both sides, and that was evident. You did not have any citations that was, in accordance with the mood that you were debating. It was just generic research, generic things you were saying. You did not go in depth. And you will learn from this, but going forward, there should have been some statistics. There should have been some statistics on poverty, all of these things. And both of the teams had instances where you crossed over. So at times it was evident that you did not know which side of the mood you were in support of. So more research should have been done and more planning. Also for rebuttal, you cannot include new information when you're doing a rebuttal. This is stated in the rules that I'm sure both teams have a copy of. So if you are debating, only what is being said from the first to the third speaker, that is what you are rebutting. You're not going into something that you did not say or new information. So you just take that and then you build your arguments around that and you come back. So you learn from this. Also, when you are organizing the structure of the team, find the person that is the most capable and put them to speak first. That way, you have that person doing the rebuttal. So it's more easy and you gain more points. And timing as well, make sure that, again, you record yourselves and you look at the time so that you won't go over. Because you go over time, you lose points. And then sometimes you have a good argument if the debate is close, based on that simple fact that the point is five deducted or 3 deducted, that can cost you the entire match. So look into all of these things, you practice, and don't be discouraged. You are a young team, you are both secondary school teams, so you learn, you take this, you look at the positives, and you come back better. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Yaku. Dr. Hatton, we welcome your remarks and the scores.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, let me first say I am very happy that the schools would have entered the competition. I think it must be applauded that the schools would have seen the need for public speaking. So I must say I'm very happy with that. Our teams today, they obviously lacked practice. That's obvious. But I must say it takes grit, wit, and certain guts to come in here today and to make this preparation and make this delivery of the speech. So I'm happy that you would have done this. You're young. You're very young. I saw in you myself when I was in high school, and I see ability, right? And with youth, there's always ability. I'm happy that you would have risen to this occasion. I would have taken up the challenge, right? But of course, in everything you want to do it to the best of your ability. The giggling and so on while you're debating is not professional. The hand in your pocket, not professional, right? So we want to big up ourselves in the sense that we want to do the very best we can do to represent our school. And we want to make sure Christianburg is well represented and New Silver City is well represented. So we want to make sure we practice well and we give the best of ourselves when we come to the day of the debate, right? So, but let's be careful. Let's understand what's happening. We are talking about poverty being a mindset. And one of the speakers made a very good point. We become who we associate with. So we want to make sure the people who are around us are people who are building a positive mindset. If you want to get us to a certain goal, you want to surround yourself with people who are going to get you to that goal. There's a saying, if you have 9 broke friends, you will be the 10th. And I like to tell my high school students, if you have 9 dunce friends, you're going to be the 10th dunce one. Right? So in that sense, your mindset is often fed with the people who you surround. So as you're in school, as you're going towards this goal of writing your exams and you're going towards a bright future for yourself and your family, surround yourself with people who are going places. And I know being a part of a debating team says volumes, speaks to our character and our personalities and where we are going. So this is the right path where you need to be at this point. But do it with confidence. Confidence always gets you over the line. Right? If you have to fake it until you make it. Lie to your mindset until we get to that point. Right? I'm happy that you came here today. I'm happy that you would have tried out. I want to see better performances from both of these teams. I'm happy that nobody's being sent home immediately, but I'm happy that you get the opportunity to reverse the thing and come again. Right? Unfortunately, we only have one team who have to be given a nudge forward, and the other team has to go and plan again. And that's just how it is with every competition. Right? Just one point before I give the scores. For the rebuttal, it's a poor thing for many debates. The purpose of the rebuttal is where you are going to use whatever your speech has to counter the arguments presented by the opposite team. So whatever they said, you have to show how that is nonsensical. The argument is nonsensical based on what you have presented. Don't present new arguments, but use what you have to counter what they have, right? So that's the point of the rebuttal. And then you close off with something catchy. Rhetorical question will do just fine, right? So with that said, I hope they see better rebuttals in the future. Teachers, you can give them a good start and a good end and some possible points of what they can use if the other team says this, if the other team says that, right? And use that as a stem moving forward in the rebuttal. Good. Our results. I think today, the person who would have convinced us enough that he or she has the ability to become a very good debater is Mr. Colin Bascom. Mr. Colin is the better speaker here today, right? So he's the best speaker. He was awarded the best debater here today. Our scores are 153 and 163. I would have dragged this out a little bit more and tantalized you a bit, but we have been tiring at this, so I'll just tell you who it is. 163 in favor of the opposition. Christianburg Secondary.
Thank you, Dr. Hatton. And so congratulations to the best debater today, Mr. Colin Bascom, 18 years old from Wismar, Linden. And Colin is from the Christianburg Wismar Secondary School Student Governing Body. Also the winning team of today. So congratulations, Christianburg Wismar Secondary School Student Governing Body. You are moving on to the National Speakers Youth Debating Competition. And to New Silver City Secondary School, it was a good try. So you will compete against the Linden Superstars for another chance to be in the national competition. Thank you to our judges. Thank you, online viewers. Thank you to our staff here today. And we will see you all on Friday. I'm Miss Carly Charles saying goodbye for now.
The rules
We are a peaceful people. Struggle is always struggle, and we don't look for trouble. Just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains. We ain't giving up no tree. We ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue